Hello everybody, welcome back to Madwire Gaming. Today I'm going to do my very first review, and the review is going to be over Paradoxes Interactive's Hearts of Iron 4. So first of all, let's go over the options, because people really like to do the options. We're going to turn master volume real quick. Okay. Options, you got pretty much here for the game, how much you want to save. You can do hot joins, save to cloud, cooperative play, which you can share one nation. Well, two people can share one nation. Got your classic NATO symbols. Basically, if you do not know what those are, is say if you look at the military diagram, it's like the little X inside of the square or a circle inside of a square. You got pause on notifications, just all this stuff right here. Video, you got a decent amount of settings. You can play in borderless, full mode. Got resolution, refresh rate, and all this stuff. My settings are really low. The one gripe I do have about this game is how the game's graphics are very unoptimized, and I don't know if it's CPU intensive or GPU intensive. I guess I'd say CPU, because after the late game, the units start getting really bogged down and it makes everything lag, so I try to lower all the settings here to help my late game. Got your VSync, enable river and cities, and all this stuff. You got your classic audio settings and your control settings. Not very much in these two departments. Anyway, let's start up a new game. Actually, I'll turn up all the graphics. See, no. Maybe I'll just do this. If you set it up sometimes, then you'll have to restart it and everything. So let's go to the scenario 1936, and you got the scenario 1939. Basically, if you play on the first one, you have more options of how to shape your nation before going to war. In 1939, it's more of going to war rather than setting your nation. Anyhow, you got 7 major powers you can play from: France, United Kingdom, States, Reich, Italy, Japan, Soviet Union. They all have their own descriptions, and they have all their own buffs. Say for the Soviet Union, they have the Trotskyite plot, I don't know how to say that, and Home of the Revolution. On the left, it tells you just basic information of the starting nation. And also, if you go to other countries, you can see the world map here. You can play any nation you see in this world map. Any nation on any continent. Play the British Raj, you can play the United Kingdom, and you can play Australia, you can play any puppet nation of the United Kingdom. Like I said, any nation. Let's go ahead and pick a nation here, and let's go ahead and do Germany. Got your Iron Man mode and your historical AI, your settings here. I think this difficulty setting is new here, because I've never seen it before. Oh, that's nice. Cool. Anyway, let's delve into this. Now, this game's been out for several months now. I think it came out in last May or June. I believe June. Sorry, this is taking too long to load. Anyhow, let's go over the country. Okay. The graphics are down for me. There's a fair warning. The game does have pretty good graphics, but like I said, I turned them down late game, so you can see what the hell's going on. Well, so I could see what was going on. Let's see. Use NATO symbols. Now, see how they went from like an infantry icon to that? This basically NATO symbol. This stands for infantry. Anyhow, you got your national unity. That is very important. You always want to keep that up. You got political power, manpower. Manpower is basically how you live and fight wars. It can go down drastically if you're very careless in your decisions on research. And factories are important. Military factories build your stuff. Naval factories build your navy. Then civilian factories build goods you can trade. Anyway, here, this is your political party. You can actually change it through espionage. So say you can promote a communist revolution, and I'll give you +10 to communism, and You can become communist, and then you'll have a setting to actually have a revolution. You can become communist, and that's the same with the democratic. And other nations can actually play a role in your, you know, political system and have you switch over to different factions. You got your factions game mode here. You know, you got your Comintern, the Axis, and the Allies. You can make and form factions and also dismantle factions, as so in this option. Blam should be in the Axis. That'll update when the game's playing. Anyway, another thing is research. You got a wide variety of things you want to research and can research. This doctrine is very important into researching, same with industry, so always do that first. Sorry, I'm giving my opinion, so stop. The game relies on trade, so say if I build a lot of tanks, because tanks require oil, I can trade with the Soviet Union, and they'll give me oil, and this is what this tab basically does. And how trade works is you don't have money, you trade good factories. Here you can build military factories, civvy factories, ports, and other miscellaneous things. For production, see, I have 20 military factories, and it also says it here. Well, actually I have 40, but only 20 are in use, and I have it here. So every time I allocate something here, a factory will be taken up and be used. Same with resources. Here you can design divisions, which I can't do because I don't have any stats. You get allocation points for army experience when you fight, naval experience when you fight, and air experience when you fight or train. So you use those points to build divisions or beef them up. Logistics are a very important part of the game. I think they are the hardest because unlike the other Heart of Iron games, you can't mass 100 units on one border without having to worry about logistics. I mean, you probably had to worry about it in the other games, but not as much as this game. So see, this province can hold 99 soldiers, well 99 divisions. This one can hold 103. But say if you're fighting, and like in one of my gameplays went all the way to Finland, you can only have 56 divisions, and 26 divisions, and 12. So that can really hamper your, you know, fighting choices and everything like that. Anyway, before this review's up, I want to show you my current save game. I am playing as the British Raj, and I did a revolution and formed over to the Axis and actually made my own faction with the Japanese. We took down Russia, free India. And the reason why this is here, they were at war with Russia too. So whenever it came to the, whenever Russia fell, they got apart and signed the peace treaty, so they took this land. The AI's not very good with taking land, and that is one gripe I have about the game. Because, you know, right here, not a good example, but say if you're at war, and say if I'm Germany and Russia's in this line right here, and I'm fighting, and if Italy comes up here and takes this province, it's not going to give it to me, it's going to give it to Italy until the peace referendum. Here I have a lot of soldiers, you can see. I was fighting the Allies in this area, and going into Sub-Sahara. And I'm landing in Australia right now. I took down the Philippines and all the nations in this area. And let me try to find where is it? Hold on. Diplomacy. Factions. I formed the UFA, United Asian Front. Basically pretty much all of Asia. Then let's see a few things I didn't cover in this game. You can do nation focuses, and pretty much what you do here, and just research whatever you want at the time, and it'll give you certain buffs and benefits for a while. train your divisions there. Then another thing this game has is nuclear bombs, which don't do much. They lower national unity, but it's not by a lot. It's by actually a very small fraction. Anyway, I know I kind of rambled on. It's first review, so if I'd say if I could give a score on it, I would say probably about a 7 out of 10. It is a really fun game to play. You have a lot of variety and a lot of replayability, especially if you play as one of these non-main factions, because they can really get their ass handed to them and you have to build them up from scratch more so than the major nations and figure out what you're going to do and who you're going to flip to be your ally. So besides the strategy of this game and other things you have to do to keep your nation afloat, such as managing, construction, production, recruit, employment, logistics, diplomacy, and research. On that aspect, it's very fun. I like it more so than, personally, I like it more so than Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis. Even though I really do have high regards for Europa Universalis, I do think this one takes the cake when it comes to that. Like I said, the cons earlier with the game, I think nuclear bombs are really underpowered. I also think the late game lag, let's see if I can show you. Late game lag is really bad, which actually looks like they fixed it. No, they did not, because I'm on a regular game now. Here, I'll show you real quick. But generally the lag is what throws you off late game and you'll either stop or start another game. Here, I gotta show you. Yeah. See how the timer was going beforehand and now it's going super slow? That's because of all the nations having all these units. So that's one gripe about it. So yeah, a fun game to play, strategize with, maybe play with a friend and control small nations, and you have all this stuff to take care of, but fails in the late game with bombs and with all these units going around fighting. It makes the game really laggy. Anyhow, I said 7 out of 10. I urge you guys to at least try it. Anyway, Madwire Gaming signing out.